a dog grooming table video. So which table is going to suit you for what you need. This is my original dog grooming table I've had for 20 years. What has finally broke. It's a hydraulic dog grooming table, what goes up and down. For 2 years I've been oiling it to keep it going. I was hoping it was going to last till I finished dog grooming, but it hasn't. Which has led me to think of these points I'm going to actually give you to make you think what's actually going to suit you best dog grooming table wise. Because this particular table is nice and strong. I'm not selling you the table, you can't get it anymore. You can get one similar. Okay, it's hydraulic, it goes up and down, it's dead solid. It's 120 long by 60 wide. And this is bolted on, this H-frame. Dead solid for the kind of dogs I groom. Setters, which want to lunge, they can't get off. They can nearly flip the table. One dog did flip it, which was not quite my dog, but she might as well have been my dog. Scylla. Lovely dog. Young English setter, as they are. A bit hyper. And this used to be in a barn for a few years where I groomed our own show dogs. And I stepped to turn up the radio, turned round to this table, pretty much like that, with Scylla in the face, and I pushed it back. That's the only time, because it's such a strong, solid table, but they can't get off with that H-frame. Might not look it, but it's solid. And you've got a lot of clearance here for a taller dog, okay? But it's broke, which got me thinking. Number one, budget. How much do I want to spend? Right, honestly, as little as possible. Yep. And what am I actually grooming on this table? What I need. Can I make do with it not going up and down? For 2 weeks I did. I'm going to make it last. No, all it's done is given me a bad back and put me in a really bad mood, which set me off again, wanting to buy a new table. Or needing to buy a new table. So what are you grooming on the table? Are you grooming all breeds, from giant down to little chihuahua? Or are you grooming just medium-sized dogs, cockapoos, spaniels, breeds like that? Are you using it for just your own dog? Or using it in a salon? So, you've got a static table. A static table is not going to move. A bit like that now, that's a static table. It's not going to move up and down. But you can get a static table what you fold and put in the shed or put out the way. Problem with the static table is you've got to put the dog on it, which has been the problem with this one. And once the dog, whatever the size of the dog is on that table, you have physically got to bend to do the dog, which is going to cause you pain and put you in a bad mood. A hydraulic table, like what that is and like what this one is, you're just going to pump the table up wherever you need the dog to be and get the dog off. And then you've got an electric table, which again is very similar to the hydraulic table, but you're just going to put your foot on the pedal and it's going to go up and down. The problem with the hydraulic table and the electric table is that you can't put them away. Let's probably take it to pieces and put it away. So if it's for your own dog, where are you going to store it? Well, have you got somewhere, a dog room or something to put it in? Grooming salon's fine, you're just going to put it up and leave it there. That one, there is a link in the video description below, which I will earn a referral fee from if you shop through the link. This one has cost me 200 quid. Okay, it came in quite a few pieces to put it together, but it's not a bad table. The problem for me, for the type of dog I do, is that there's not much clearance. I've had setters on there, but if I get a strong setter, that is not a very strong H frame on it. The way around that with this is take that off, and if you've got a strong enough wall, put like some plate rings on the wall so you can attach the dog that way. which is what I'm going to be doing very soon, because I'm actually moving out this room and I will need 2 tables. That is going to be my drying table, because this part is not bad at all for 200 quid. And I've got an electric table of that size. Did I tell you that's 110? 110 by 60. I like a 60 width table, but I don't need a massive table like that anymore. Years ago I used to groom anything, and I don't for years. Since 2011 I've not done no giant breeds, so I don't need a great big table like that. But what I need is a table with a bigger, stronger H frame. You may be different, but that's some things you're up against. There's obviously different sizes. Now, the wider the table and the smaller the dog, the more you're going to have to bend, and the dog can get away from you and you'll get a bad back. The longer the table and the smaller the dog, again, the dog's going to move. I'm just going to make it hard work. This has actually been lovely doing the spaniel sized dogs on. For 4 days my back is already better. But they're just going up and down, and a smaller, that 10 centimetres is actually massive when it comes to a table like this. And the table I've ordered, the new table, which there's a link to Groomers, to the new table I've ordered, it's an electric table, is again 110, because I do not need a massive table like that. 110 by 60. It's got an extreme frame. I'm yet to see what the frame's like, but the reviews are quite good on it. And it's an electric table and it looks more solid underneath than that, but that for 200 quid is all right. Which I say is going to be my drying table. So that's things to bear in mind when you're thinking about a dog grooming table. What are you actually grooming on it? If you are grooming mainly medium-sized dogs, starting out, and you've got one giant breed coming in, so you're going to buy a big table to cater for that one giant breed and everything else, my honest opinion would be get rid of that giant breed and buy something what suits the majority of what you're grooming, than catering for everything, unless you've got a lot more of the giant breeds. You know, really think hard and get yourself an actual decent table. Like this has been decent, and it was bought originally for everything, every kind of dog possible. That bar will come down. So if you've got a smaller dog, you've probably seen on my videos, smaller dogs, that's going to work. You know, it actually looks completely had it. It's all rusty because it was put in a barn for quite a few years. And where the door was, there was holes in the door. And when the rain used to come through, when it got ruined and went rusty. But yeah, something with a bar what's going to move up and down. Solid. What's going to do the job, basically. So that's my little bit on dog grooming tables. See, I've got an electric table coming in that size. But that, if you were starting out, that's not bad. For 200 quid. That has been heaven. After that, that is going. I've only left that up because I have had some setters come in what are strong, which I've had to put on the table myself. Because they're the kind of dog what pull like hell, and they would have pulled that bar off. There we go. That's my little bit on tables, and when the new table comes, I'll be able to give you a review on it.